Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing the end of month flip for my Mulberry A6 agenda. So this is my reference and list agenda. I have switched it up throughout the month. Naturally, that's just what I do with my planners. I think it's also part of just like the fun for me. But usually when things change throughout the month, I'll flip things around, or if I feel like there's a better flow to the planner, then I'll adjust. So let's go ahead and I'll talk about what worked, what didn't work, and show y'all what's inside. I will have links to everything I can link below, as well as my discount codes to planner shops. So let's go ahead and open this up. So the front, I don't believe, has changed. I'm still using these 3 spotlight dividers from Cloth and Paper. This is organized into 3 different sections. So as I mentioned, it's my reference and list planner. So I have my schedule, I have reference, and then the last tab is lists. The schedule is my inbox and outbox. And so inbox has my inbox Cloth and Paper dashboard with the upcoming vellum, this Legends exclusive dashboard from Cloth and Paper, and then this is just everything that needs to be done. It's usually like long-term planning, things that come in, need to be scheduled, and then just aren't on a weekly basis. An example of that is I booked tickets to go back home for my best friend's wedding and bachelorette party. So I had those in there and was able to cross those off. So again, those are more long-term, needed to be done. I was just finding the right time, right date to do it. And so we have that. And then the outbox is everything that needs to go into my other planners / just all of the plans. So I have this Kanban dashboard from Cloth and Paper. And when I have my page flag system in here, I was able to adjust and move things around. I'm still throwing sticky notes on it when I'm planning and using it. So this still is getting used. I feel like I haven't showed what a sticky note looks like on here yet though, but I'll also just use page flag still, write something on it and put it in here. So this is still being used. I just feel like every time I go to record, it's gone. It's usually because all the plans have been made, but probably in the September setup, you'll probably see sticky notes on there because it'll be everything that I need to plan. We have the year at a glance, again from Cloth and Paper. And then this is the holidays and observance page that came with one of the weekly inserts from Cloth and Paper. And then this is the pull-out calendar, and so this is the main calendar that has been in here. And so whenever I schedule an appointment or there's a trip or something going on, this is where everything comes in first. So that way, like I said, this goes out into all my other planners. So this is where I can come in, write down what's going on, and then I can schedule it out in the other ones, which is why it's in the outbox. So that is this section. And then just an updated view of what this looks like. Very minimal, but it's also, again, just high level. I don't want to have to I don't fill everything in. Then it gets too crowded and then it gets too cluttered, and to me that just doesn't work. Some people prefer to write things in every single day. I can't do it, or it'll like drive me insane because I'll think something's like important's going on every single day. But that's that section. And then next we have the reference section. So if you saw my mid-month planner setup video, I did adjust this and the last tab. The first tab has stayed the same because it's working great. This one though, I did adjust because I wanted to try something different that I thought would make sense, and honestly it just didn't work out, so I actually switched it back. So if you saw that mid video, I think that lasted maybe a few days, almost a week, and then I switched it back because I'm in the habit of going to the same like spots for certain things, and then I just felt like my original flow worked better. So I think I might have modified it a little bit. So right now, as I mentioned, this is the reference tab. So this is the second tab, and then I have these top tabs from my Paper Co. And then the first item in here is the monthly insert. So these are a month on one page. I honestly don't know if I'm going to keep these in here just because I haven't really used them since I primarily use the pullout. I had these in, I took them out, and then I brought them back in this current month. And so I think I'm actually gonna swap these out for weeklies. I'll go into more details on that in my September setup videos, but I'm thinking about turning this into still my references and lists because it still has all of those great items in it, but kind of like an on-the-go planner again. And so I think I might swap these out for weekly inserts, but we will see. I don't know. It was nice to have it, but like I said, all of this is on here, so I don't need it. It's kind of the same thing, and then it's just a different view. It's a nice view, but it just, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take it out. So we have that. And then right now I just have the current year in here. If it's not being used throughout the entire month, I think that's an indicator for me that I need to remove it from my planner. That's something that I know I got asked, I think in my one of my last few videos, is how do I determine when to take something out or when something's not working? If I'm not touching it, that's usually my like key flag of like, oh, I should probably, I'll like take mental note of it, and then I'll realize, especially when I'm doing these videos and I'm going over everything, it really hits me like, oh wow, I haven't touched that. Oh wow, I haven't done this. And so I know not everybody does YouTube, but if you just, whenever you go to plan and you realize, oh, I haven't touched this insert in a bit, or oh, I haven't done this in a bit, or oh, this hasn't worked, or I use this instead. For example, with weekly inserts, if I notice I'm like going to a specific insert more, or I'm using sticky notes instead of an insert, it's probably because that insert wasn't working for me. So I think there's just different signs. You just have to like watch your behaviors, and then that usually helps me with determining when to switch things out. So a little on that. Next section is my finance section. So I moved the monthly insert over here, the vellum, and then I moved a few of these just to kind of make it a little more finance related in a way. So we have the monthly vellum to cover up. I have the inbox vellum from Infinite Lotus here. This has bounced around, project, whatnot. And then I decided to move it into my finance because I like the way it pairs with the Don't Settle dashboard from Cloth and Paper, since there's nothing down here. And then it kind of like helps with like making it a fuller insert, and then I love the way it looks with sticky notes. And so I can come in here, as you see I have this to buy sticky note from Infinite Lotus on here, and this is everything that I needed to pay for. I need to put the prices in, but everything like huge expense wise or just expense wise that came in this month, and when I needed to pay it. So I really like this combo, so this is probably definitely staying. And then I just have these expense inserts from Infinite Lotus. It's literally all of my bills just on one sheet. So that has not changed. And then that's simple. And it's been working really great. So we're keeping the finance section as is. After that, we have the content section. So this I think is going to be more of like a project / content section. I want to have a project section, but honestly the only projects I have are content. So merging them makes sense. Usually if there's like a spare tab, I'll throw project inserts in on their own. But I think it just makes sense because that way I can start using the inserts if I just keep it content related. So I have this intentional planning dashboard from Cloth and Paper in here, since my content's focused on planning. It's perfect. And then here are the project inserts from Infinite Lotus. Like I said, I think I'll probably start using these a little more frequently for like content. And then this is what I use to plan content. I don't go all out, as y'all know, with content. Usually I take photos like day of and post them. Sometimes it's like I'll schedule maybe like a day or two out. With YouTube videos, the only time I really like batch film is these types of videos where it's like end of month flips. But that's because it's, you know, I'm taking one planner at a time, and that's what the content is. So it makes sense to do it that way versus like separating it. But when it comes to content, I have the ideas and just what's going out for the month, when it's scheduled, if I'm moving it, if it's important, when it's done, and then just general notes. This is honestly perfect because it's so flexible and I can adjust it to each month, since every month for me is kind of different. And I really like it like this. So I've been using these. And then we have my lists. And so this is where I go back and forth, but honestly, I think I've just grown to love it now. And again, like this is where I primarily come in and spend a lot of time in my planner. And so coming in and like being able to easily move to these or get to these tabs is important. So when I adjusted it, since I don't have these labels, since I move things around too much, I was going to like for my reading list, for example, and I pulled the wrong tab because I moved it. And so I was like, oh, well, that isn't working. Let me just bring it back in. And now I'm definitely loving the planner again, where everything's kind of back to where it was. So this is the list section, and this is just the general list. So this part hasn't changed. I have my order trackers in here from Infinite Lotus to track all of my orders. I actually need to update that for things that got delivered. This is just different hikes. I'm updating my wardrobe. These are all the same lists that y'all have seen. And then it's also spare note inserts from Infinite Lotus. These are my favorite inserts from Infinite Lotus in general. They have so many different options when it comes to lists. There's actually a new set where it's like this but double, and I think I kind of want that so that way it's longer. So I might get that in my next order, or when I order the 2026 inserts, whenever they come out, I'll probably do it then. But we have that. And then for the archive, or I'm sorry, for the next section, I have this archive vellum here with this new dashboard from Cloth and Paper that I love. Since this is my book section, I think it's perfect. And I was so excited when I saw this on the website, and I need to get it for all my other planners because I just love it so much. But with my book section, I have my reading list. So this is all of the books that I've read this year with the star ratings. These list inserts are again from Infinite Lotus. They just have the best list inserts. They're my favorite. So we have that, and then I have this divided from Cloth and Paper, or I'm sorry, this dashboard that I'm using as a divided from Cloth and Paper to separate my reading list with book reviews, but this is for my Star Wars books. So it's not every book that I read, it's just the Star Wars ones, and I'm kind of doing like a timeline as I reread, or as I read all of the Legends books and then reread some of the ones that I have read, so that way it's in chronological order. So I have this set up, and I really like it. I'm probably gonna read the next one this weekend, we'll see. But we have this, and again, just really loving this section. And then that is my book section. And then the last section is the meeting and note inserts. So this is just my notes slash miscellaneous section. So another dashboard from Cloth and Paper. And then we just have these inserts from Infinite Lotus, and these are just general note inserts. I really like these because they're plain and they're simple. I just used for travel planning when I was scheduling tickets and then just getting specific dates and different things like that that I needed. And then I'll probably do like a little checklist down here for everything that needs to get done. But that is the only thing in here, and then I just have some spare inserts as well. And then this freebie from Made Paper Co. that I just have in the back, which I really love. And then this is a lifter. It's the back of this cover from Cloth and Paper, but I'm using it as a page lifter so that way the inserts don't get damaged in the back. But that is everything inside of the agenda. Back here we have the reflection cards from Cloth and Paper, and then I just have the Cloth and Paper monthly card that came in the sub box, and I think I have another one somewhere that I need to throw in here. I keep the Infinite Lotus one in my A5, and I just started keeping this one in here since it fit perfectly and I can close it with it there. So that is the Mulberry flip and the changes, kind of a insight into what we might see when it comes to changes in this planner as well for the upcoming month. Again, I'll have more details on that in the setup video. That's my new regimen if you missed that last update, or if you didn't see the last few videos. So I still have my end of month flips every single month where I go over all the changes, just like this style video that y'all have seen all year, and a little bit of last year I think is when I started them. And then the new thing that started this month was my monthly setup, where I come in and set up the planner, and that's kind of done in two ways, where if I need to reorganize, I'll reorganize, and then I'll set up whatever plans I know are going on throughout the month as well. And I really like that. I've really liked that system so far this month, so we're gonna try it again next month. And then midway through the month, I did a planner reorg, or I think I called it like a planner setup. Really, I think it'll depend on what's going on in my planner system. Like I said, I moved things around in that one, and then I updated my half letter to be a work planner, so I think that was all in one video. So it's just to continue to give you all updates, but instead of doing weekly plan with me's, where I feel like it's the same boring, tedious content in my opinion. I know people actually like them, but for me, it was like the same thing, and I felt like it wasn't really that beneficial. And in this way, I feel like it is more beneficial, and I get a lot more talking points out when it comes to planning and organization, in my opinion. And then I can just really go into different details that are more specific to the style video, right? Like with the plan with me, I feel like they were always all over the place, and I don't know, I feel like this just makes it a little more structured, which y'all know I love my structure. So yeah. Other than that, that is, again, the setup, the flip, and what to expect. And that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching.